Oh man, it's your boy Henny the Moore reporting live from the liquor store, man. How's everybody doing today? And listen, I know it's early. I know it's only 8:45 on my side of the world, but it is Saturday and it is 6 p.m. somewhere, right? It's 6 p.m. somewhere. So it's not a shame or nothing crazy. Don't go ahead and open the doors to the liquor store, man. Y'all know it's the weekend and it's well overdue for a liquor store run, man. So tap in with your boy. Hey, we're gonna get drunk in here. We got bottles on deck. We still got Eagles tears marinating, getting stronger, more potent as the days go by. We got hen, gin, everything else under the sun that can make you sin. So come on in, man. We finna rock out in the liquor store today, man. But hey, salute to everybody that's already in the building, man. Kelvin Hicks already in here tapping in with us. Jameson Taylor already in the building. Salute to y'all. My boy Toxic Splendor Poppy Villa. What's up, my boy? They were tapping in and rocking out with your boy in the liquor store on this Saturday morning, man. Salute to y'all. So, hey, we got a bunch of stuff to talk about, man. You know, I know the Super Bowl is upcoming. The Super Bowl's a day away, but that also means that everybody else that's not in the Super Bowl got time on their hand. Ceedee Lamb got time today. Micah Parsons got time. So they out here discussing a couple things going on in the nation. Cole, what's up with you, man? Thank you for tapping in. 808 Cowboy 77, what it do, man? Michael Autry with the 6 volcanoes going crazy. So yeah, they had time today, man. We gonna talk about it. So Micah Parsons invited Ceedee Lamb onto his podcast, and Ceedee Lamb spoke about a number of different topics. He talked about what his mama had to say. He talked about, his upcoming contract. He talked about some of the things he thought went wrong out there in the nation, right, in the playoff game. So we're going to talk about it. I got video. We'll play some of the video snippets. We'll discuss them in full. We'll come to a conclusion about what we think about it over here in the chat box. But we're going to have ourselves a good time today, man. But before I get too far ahead of myself, man, he said, no coffee for me, nothing but water and gas. Okay. And Kelvin Higgs, I seen that you had seen the video, some of the videos already. Because I uploaded them onto my page because, they weren't on YouTube originally. They were just the Stephen A. Smith interview that he did with Micah Parsons. That was the only one on YouTube. So I put them up there for easier access to folks. So y'all can go onto my YouTube page and check them out. But before we get too far ahead of ourselves, man, y'all know the usual rules and regulations. Where y'all tap in with your boy Henny. First and foremost, I need y'all to hit the like button on the channel because it goes a long way in helping me out with this algorithm, man. Like, for real. Like, if the algorithm don't want your video to be seen, your video won't be seen. And the way to counteract that is to get as many likes, as many views, as many shares on the video as humanly possible. That way, it's going to recommend the content to more people. That way, it'll reach more eyeballs, and the content continue to grow and have value. So you want your boy Henny to do well in the liquor store. You want us to still be able to give out jerseys and send folks to games and everything else. As long as the page does well, we can do that. So just make sure that y'all hit that like button and, of course, share the content. And when you share the content, remember to share it 6 times because we do believe in manifestation in the liquor store. I know we were not able to manifest a championship this year, but we're going to go ahead and get an early start for the 2024 season. So if you want the Dallas Cowboys to win championship number 6, I need y'all to share the content 6 times and to drop 6 emojis. And a lot of y'all have already did the 6 emojis part. My boy DC for Life Texas dropped 6 volcanoes. He's trying to help us manifest that 6th championship. My boy Splendor Poppy, he done dropped 6 emojis in the chat box, man. So salute to him as well. My boy 808 Cowboys said Zim standing on business. I think Zim is a decent hire. I have my reservations, but schematically and his track record says that he can get the job done. I just want to see how well he comes in here, how he maneuvers the politics and everything else. So we'll figure that out. We'll figure that out as we go. But I do like Zim as a hire for the Dallas Cowboys. So after you hit that like button, after you hit that share button, I need y'all to turn right back around and slap the dog shit out of an Eagles fan, man. Because listen, they still the ops, man. I know we both ended our season around the same time in the same manner, But we ain't tripping on that, man. We still gonna slap the shit out those Eagles fans. And if you're able to find one in their place of hiding, because they've been ducked off, I ain't seen them on the internet like that no more. If you're able to find one, lay hands to the palm, I will be able to give you half off on all the merchandise inside the liquor store. And you know, we got exactly what you need to succeed over here, man. We got Cowboys, we got gin, we got hen, and everything else under the sun that can make you sin. So tap in with your boy, Henny the Moore, and come get drunk in the liquor store. And salute to my brother, Dummy Talk in the building, man. That's my look right there, man. Salute to my boy. He said, what did the hen say to the Eagles? Slap! Hey, man. Say, man. Hey, you know, Chappelle's Show was a classic, man. Chappelle's Show was a classic. I still be going back and watching those Charlie Murphy story clips, man. That shit was hilarious. But after you do that, you done hit that like, you done hit that share, you done slap the dog shit out of an Eagles fan, out of a Commanders fan, out of a Giants fan. You can also slap the shit out that Cash App and that Super Chat, man, to help keep the lights on in the liquor store, buy yourself a bottle, you know, just support the channel. So if you want to do that, and look out for your boy Henny, you can hit the Cash App. It's $ Henny the Moore at the bottom left-hand corner. The page is monetized, so you can hit the Cash App, the Super Chats and the Super Stickers in the chat box, super thanks, all that other stuff. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the content. So let's go ahead and talk about it, man. Ceedee Lamb had quite a bit of stuff to say, right? He had quite a bit of stuff to say. So we'll start with the written version, and then we'll show you the actual clips. Because reading stuff, you know, in my opinion, just reading like text and stuff does not give you the proper context. So you don't know the tone that things were said. You don't know the mannerisms with what people said the stuff with. So you really need to always hear it. So I'm gonna read it to you. Then we're gonna play some of the clips, right? Ricky, what's up, man? Thank you for tapping in. I see you helping us practice manifestation. So John Machota, shout out to him. He said, Ceedee Lamb on Micah Parsons Bleacher Report podcast on Dak Prescott. I have no beef with my quarterback. I love my dog, and he knows that. Dak can definitely lead us to a Super Bowl. He just also needs other leaders, and that's why I'm pointing at myself. I can help him. He's already got so much on his plate. That's commendable. I don't know if he really believes that or not, but you know, it's commendable. Because at the end of the day, man, it's a business. You know, it's a business, and they still got to work together. So even if the back of his mind he don't really believe it, it is commendable for him to say it. Now, I hope he does believe it, man. I hope he does believe in Dak Prescott, right? Because he's going to be his quarterback for multiple more years. They both were thinking about signing big extensions, big long-term extensions. So, you know, they need to work together, have chemistry, be able to score points at will, and do everything else they can to be a successful duo in the NFL. So we'll see it. We'll see it. I hope that he does believe it. He said, on the playoff loss, I didn't have the best start to the game. I had a drop, but I also only had 2 targets. And no, I'm not pointing at Dak. Well, shit, if you ain't pointing at Dak about the targets, then you're pointing at Mike McCarthy. Then there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. If you're mad about targets, you're either upset with the quarterback or you're upset with the play call. You're upset with the quarterback or you're upset with the play call. So if you're saying you're not upset with Dak, then you're upset with Mike McCarthy. And dummy talk, that might be the case. But he also threw some slugs at Mike McCarthy. If he was so concerned about his check, he wouldn't have said anything about nothing. So if you're upset about the targets and you're not upset about the quarterback, then you're upset about the play caller, who is also going to have a say in actually signing your check. Because remember, Dak Prescott's on a 1-year deal. There's odds are that Dak Prescott will be back, but there's also a chance that they can move on from Dak Prescott. So he don't really have to mince his word about Prescott if he don't want to. If he wanted to throw Dak Prescott under the bus, right, and sort of help him ease his way out of Dallas, he could have. But he didn't. On what he needs to do going forward. First and foremost, I do got to grow up. There's plenty of ways for me to handle different situations. Me being mad is not one of the answers. I know this. I just feel like that's contagious. I can be more of a leader. I can be more vocal. If I'm not gonna take this label as being one. There's times where I have to get out of my shell, get out of my comfort zone. I want us to be where we're supposed to be, in the number one offense in the NFL. So let's actually look at the clips. Right, let's actually look at some of the clips, and we'll see the tone and everything else. So let's start with this one. This is Ceedee Lamb discussing what went wrong in the playoff loss. It's about a 2-minute video, a minute and 58. Right, so this is going to be Ceedee Lamb talking about that particular aspect of what's going on. Mike is going to next year unless we win a Super Bowl, which I 99% doubt. I think Mike McCarthy will still be here if they get to a championship game, because it's hard to ask somebody just to win a Super Bowl for your franchise that hasn't done shit in 30 years, and that's the only way you keep your job. Like, it's not realistic. So I believe if he gets them farther than they've been in the last 30 years, 28, 29 years, however long it's been, then he gets to keep his job. Say, Henny, what's starting to come out about true problem is mentality is soft and focus is on brand, not football first. That is with front office and players. Grow up is word for this whole Cowboys organization. I mean, I can feel that. You know, a lot of people that leave Dallas feel like they can focus on football more. A lot of people have been very vocal about that. The differences of playing in a Kansas City or playing with the 49ers or playing, you know, with the Broncos. Because we've had players that left Dallas and were successful, and they pointed to the atmosphere and the environment being different and being more conducive to them playing winning football. Cheeto Awuzie left Dallas, and he's been to a Super Bowl, and he's been to AFC Championship games, and he's been a starter the whole time, right? And he's talked about the differences in what's going on in Cincinnati and what's going on in Dallas. And we've had Demarcus Ware talk about the difference of approach in, you know, in Denver than here in Dallas. And we've had Charvarius Ward, you know, talk about his time in Dallas on the practice squad, and then going to Kansas City, how it was different, playing, you know, the difference in playing there and playing in San Francisco. So we've had players that went on and been starters on teams that made Super Bowls, and talk about the differences in Dallas and the environment in Dallas compared to the environment elsewhere. So that's a very nice critique, Coach Marv. I don't find any fault in that narrative right there, because we've had people say it already. We've had people say it. You know what I mean? We've had people talk about the difference. Swagoo, right? I know he didn't end up being like a Super Bowl champion, but he had, like he's mentioned himself, he had the privilege of playing with a different organization and seeing how an organization that's primarily focused on football handles things compared to Dallas. Because like you said, everybody is their own individual brand. The Jones are all about making money. The Joneses are about the brand of the Dallas Cowboys football organization, being worldwide, being known. So that is a good talking point. Numbhead Neil, what's up with you, man? He said, woke up, slapped 59 Eagles fans before checking in this AM. That's love right there, my boy. Salute to you. So, hey, we 40 deep, so we need at least 40 likes on the page, man. So, hey, y'all make sure y'all hit that like button. We finna go ahead and play this clip of Ceedee Lamb talking to Micah Parsons about the playoff loss. So I'm gonna go ahead and share the screen. And they shouldn't flag me. This is my own YouTube page. I mean, this is my own YouTube page. They didn't flag the video when I put it up, so they shouldn't flag the motherfucker now. So let's get it. This is gonna be Ceedee Lamb discussing with Micah Parsons what he thought went wrong in the playoff loss. So I'm gonna pause the music. I'm gonna let Ceedee Lamb talk to y'all about what he feeling, what he thinks. All right, y'all. So that was Micah Parsons and Ceedee Lamb discussing the playoff loss. Hold on. Video was still playing in the background. So yeah, that was them discussing the playoff loss and some of the things that Ceedee Lamb thought went wrong over the course of the game. So as he mentioned, they got off to a bad start. Defense allowed points on the opening drive. Offense had a 3-and-out. Well, it wasn't actually a 3-and-out, because they did get one first down. Dak Prescott had a 18-19 yard run for a first down, and then they couldn't put anything together after that. So they had like a 4 or 5 play drive. But like he mentioned, like there was a miscommunication between him and Dak Prescott. End up culminating in a drop that really, listen, when you go back and you look at the all 22 of that play, Ceedee Lamb was lined up against a linebacker, and then there was really nobody else except for a deep safety player. So if he catches that play and you believe that he actually gets tackled, then he probably gets about 20 yards. If you think that he breaks the safety down and makes a play, he might be able to score. So that was a very pivotal play within that game. And he also discussed his own drops, right? So really, the way I feel about the playoff game myself personally, nobody played well enough to throw anybody else under the bus. You know what I mean? Like Dak Prescott didn't play well enough to talk about Ceedee Lamb's drops. Ceedee Lamb didn't play well enough to talk about Dak Prescott. Micah Parsons in the defense damn sure didn't play well enough to say anything about the offense. So like everybody has their own, everybody has their own fault and has their own part of blame to take on it. Right? They got their own point of blame to take on it. It said when the fans are totally negative, the content creators are totally negative on the Cowboys, the owner, the player. What the hell is the point? The point is to talk about it so we can fix it. Because I'm sorry, not everything is going to be roses and sunshines in the world. When there are problems, you got to talk about them. Because the only way to get over a problem is to actually acknowledge that there is a problem going on. And we can't ignore some of the things that are wrong with the Dallas Cowboys. Do we love them any less? No. Right? I've been a Dallas Cowboys fan my entire life, second generation. Only team I've known, only team I'm going to root for. But I'm also am not going to just sit by and act like everything is fine. When there are obvious issues with the team, personnel-wise, culture-wise, there are things wrong with the team. So we should be open about that and being willing to have open conversations and trying to mitigate the problems and figure out what's going on with the team. You know what I mean? So like Kevin Hicks says, when your marriage is rocky and stuff, don't you think roses, or do you talk and try to fix it out? I mean, you might bring them some flowers, but you still gotta have a conversation. Just bringing flowers ain't gonna fix nothing. Said Henny, let's look at the time of possession of the first half, and that is key of getting offensive flow. I mean, we didn't really have the ball in the first half of the game. We really didn't have the ball like that. Like you said, we only had a couple of offensive plays, and really the defense only forced one stop in the first half. So it's not like our offense was on the field a lot at all. We mostly seen the Dallas Cowboys defense in that playoff game for the most part. Because the Packers had a good game plan. They ran the ball, they controlled time of possession, they scored points, they kept our offense on the sideline. They didn't let us get into a rhythm until the second half, and shit snowballed. So they had a very good plan. But the thing I like though is that Ceedee Lamb is taking culpability for his part in what happened. It's easy to say what other people didn't do. It's always tougher to look into the mirror and say, that was my bad. That was my fault. I did that. I'm the reason that didn't work. And that takes a lot more than just pointing the finger saying it's his fault. He didn't do his job. I was perfect. Like folks can do that all day. But I do appreciate that Ceedee Lamb discussed some of the things that he did wrong from a leadership standpoint, from dropping balls, from going about some of the things the wrong way. So I can respect that. And I do respect the shit out of Ceedee Lamb for finally speaking up and speaking his mind on that. So there's more to come though, man. But my question, do y'all agree with Ceedee Lamb? Do y'all agree with Ceedee Lamb comments that everybody has a part to play in this? Do you agree that Ceedee Lamb should have got more targets even though he had the drop issues? Because honestly, Dak and Ceedee is what got us to this point. Y'all remember our brother landlord from Alabama talking about spam lamb, right? That was really the Dallas Cowboys offense this year. That was the Dallas Cowboys offense this year. Dak Prescott and Ceedee Lamb. We didn't really have a run game. Or number 2 wide receiver didn't even have 700 yards on the season. He had 8 touchdowns, though. I'll give him that. But, the offense ran through Dak Prescott and Ceedee Lamb. So, whoever fault it is, and he said he wasn't throwing shade at Dak. But if you're not throwing shade at Dak, then you got to be pointing the finger at Mike McCarthy, who's the play caller. Because, hey, if you're not mad at the quarterback, but you're mad about targets, then you're mad at the play caller. So maybe he has some issues with that, but we won't really never ever know, right? I don't think he'll ever throw Mike McCarthy under the bus fully, but if you're not mad at the quarterback about targets, then you're mad about the play call about something. Then there's no ifs, ands, or buts, or in between. Yeah, without saying too much, I believe that's part of it. I agree with CD. We totally went away from what got us to the playoffs. I agree with that. No, I can't agree with that. I feel like Ceedee Lamb should have been featured more. I know he did not get off to the start that we wanted him to. I know he had some drops, but Ceedee Lamb is your best wide receiver, right? He's your best wide receiver. He's your best playmaker, and he's one of your most explosive players. So getting the ball in his hands is what you need. He said when it comes, my boy Jive in the building, he said when it comes to targets, I still want to see these numbers to be high. I just didn't want them to be only passes though. Let him get some running back reps and some screens, 2 or 3 jet sweeps a game. I'm fine with that. I'm really surprised we didn't see more of that to start the game, because Ceedee Lamb has did a lot for you in the run game, in the receiving game, right? So Ceedee Lamb is a threat wherever he lines up. If you bring him in motion, he's a threat. If you line him up in the backfield, he's a threat. While he's out there running routes, he's a threat. So it be like that. I wish Ceedee Lamb was more involved. But, hopefully this upcoming season, the next time that we get into the playoffs, that we're able to go ahead and stick to what got us there. And hopefully we also have a run game to complement Ceedee Lamb and Dak Prescott by then, right? So that's one of the things I feel like we were missing. If Dak Prescott and Ceedee Lamb are going to start slow, then you need to supplement what they're doing with a run game so they can stay within the game. They don't have to put on the capes and go save the world. Remember, I'm gonna keep throwing this little stat out. Dak Prescott is 2-1 in the postseason when his running backs account for 100 yards or more. Said, because I know for a fact that this team was looking and talking about San Francisco in the NFC Championship game in the week of Green Bay game. In fact, Henny, yeah, man, they were, listen, I know we don't really want to say this, but they were so overconfident in their ability to just roll out there and beat the Green Bay Packers. I think they might have overlooked them. We got folks planning. We have folks planning victory celebrations. We got folks talking about the next home game. Even the fan base were talking about, I'm not gonna make it this week. I'm gonna go to the next playoff game. Motherfucker, there was not a next playoff game. We didn't handle business in this playoff game, and I think that energy, was circulating through the fan base, and I think eventually got to the players too. Everybody hyped up what they were able to do at home, me included, right? So I think that things just didn't go the way we planned it, man. I think we got caught up in the sauce. Ken Wright, and I appreciate y'all for tapping in with me, man. Salute to you, my brother. So yeah, man, let's continue though, because we just talked about Ceedee Lamb. He said fans don't count. Hey, I think the fans do count. But I know they be lying. The players lie and say they don't be on social media. Them boys see every damn thing, bro. Like I promise you, like y'all remember when I was on the campaign of trying to cut Jordan Lewis, and I had posted that shit, and he went and liked it. They be on social media. They see every damn thing, bro. They see everything. They just thought they might not say everything that they see, but they see everything, bro. And I think some of the things that we speak about, I think that they do read into that sometimes, bro. I ain't gonna hold you, because it's hard to be that big of a household name and not hear the noise around you. You know what I mean? I think it's hard to be that publicized, that scrutinized, that well known, and not hear the noise, bro. Man, hey, Wanye cool as hell too. He be interacting with the fans, playing Madden with everybody and shit. Wanye seem like a good dude, but he definitely be seeing everything going on. J. Lou definitely be seeing everything going on. Like Micah definitely sees everything going on. Like I feel like players be in tune with the pulse of the nation. They may not say it. You know, it's the professional answer to say, hey man, we be blocking out the noise and shit, man. We don't let none of that affect us. Man, they human. These are human beings with wife, kids, mamas, daddies, cousins, uncles, brothers. Like shit, even if they don't see it firsthand, somebody close around them gonna come back and tell them what's going on in the space, man. Like we be having people, family members on the show, watching the show. So like the stuff we say probably does get back to the players. Matter of fact, I know it does. He said, I was trying to get Jalise fired. He told me to be quiet. Who's that? I don't even know who that is. But let's move on to the next one, man. Because Ceedee Lamb said he finna get a bag, bro. Ceedee Lamb and Micah Parsons was talking about him getting that bag, getting that new contract this upcoming season, more than likely. So here they go. This is Ceedee Lamb and Micah Parsons discussing Ceedee Lamb possibly becoming the highest paid wide receiver in the National Football League. He said, T. Foster said fans didn't have nothing to do with Cowboys getting their ass whooped. You feel that way? Hey, do you feel that way, my brother? Elaborate on why you feel that way, my boy, and then I'll get back to your comment after I put the after I play the video for y'all good people. So boom, boom, boom. All right. So yeah, so there it goes. That was Ceedee Lamb discussing his contract with fellow Dallas Cowboys player Micah Parsons on his podcast The Edge. And if you want to actually see the full podcast, man, go to Bleacher Report. If you get the Bleacher Report app, you'll be able to see the full podcast. It's just a lot of this stuff hasn't made its way to YouTube yet. That's why I'm trying to clip some stuff together and put it on YouTube, so the folks that don't want to have to track it down can peep it out. But I'm going to say this, DC Worldwide Media, my boy, he said, I don't care if they get their bread. I just feel like it shouldn't be a talking point when they haven't won anything, just my opinion. And that's okay. It's fine to have a differentiating opinion. But only thing I will say is this. With the kind of money that be on the line for a player like Ceedee Lamb, you know, he's probably thinking about that heavily. And I'll do one even further, man. Ceedee Lamb will probably be in a better mental state after he secures that bag, because he'll never have to worry about anything else ever again in his life. All he had to do for the rest of his life after he signs that contract is focus on football. He gonna know his mama good, his kids good, his kinfolk now gonna be good. I think it's more conducive to pay somebody like Ceedee Lamb of their ilk, so they don't have to worry about it no more. Bro, you know we seen that crazy shit. T. Foster, you know we seen that. And I got Brandon Cooks and Stephon Gilmore's reaction to it. They don't agree with that shit at all. They don't agree with it at all. And we'll talk about that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, when that kind of money's on the line, man, like you don't have to worry about anything. You know what I'm saying? That like Ceedee Lamb probably gonna get $150, $160, $170, whatever kind of $100 million, even after you pay Uncle Sam his bread. Right, that's kind of money to set you up for the rest of your life. You ain't got to worry about anything. All you got to worry about is becoming a better player after that point, so you can keep making that money, so you can hold on to the bag, right? So I think that it goes further. It said they can miss me on the cool. Who you talking about? Brandon Cooks and Stephon Gilmore? Listen, they got a different opinion, but they also, remember, I told you there's a difference in mind state between players that have been in Dallas their whole career and players that came from over yonder over here. If you came from a New England, if you came from a New Orleans Saints when they had Drew Brees, if you came from another organization that had championship aspirations, right? Brandon Cooks done played in 2 Super Bowls. Stephon Gilmore has won a Super Bowl. Like, they have a different mindset. They've been coached by Bill Belichick. So they have a completely different mindset about some of these things than our players do. You know what I mean? They just from a different They just from a different football culture. They just from a different football culture. You know what I mean? But I'll play that in just a second. But that is but Ceedee Lamb said it's not too crazy at all though. Like, nobody expected Ceedee Lamb to not be one of the highest paid wide receivers in the National Football League when he's been so dominant the last 2-3 years. He's had 3 back-to-back 1,100 yard or better seasons. He's had back-to-back All-Pro selections. And honestly, Ceedee Lamb has gotten better every season. His rookie year, he had like 900 yards. His sophomore year, he had like 1,100. The year before this one, he had over 1,300. This year, he done had 1,700. And he went from just being a Pro Bowl player to a second-team All-Pro player to a first-team All-Pro player. So, like, Ceedee Lamb has literally gotten better and better and better and better. Oh, I'm talking about the Cowboys in general. I got you. So, yeah, man. So, like, Ceedee Lamb, he's just been a monster. I know I have my critiques about some of the outbursts and some of the body language and some of the drops, but all the good outweighs the bad, bro, when I talk about somebody like Ceedee Lamb. There are very few wide receivers I would want over Ceedee Lamb right now. Very few. Very few. It's a very short-ass list. Very short-ass list of wide receivers I would take over Ceedee Lamb right now, man. His route running, his ability to run the football as a ball carrier, his explosiveness, athleticism, he's just like one of the very few wide receivers that combine like a little bit of everything. Yeah, right. Because he only had Dak Prescott for 5 games. He only had Dak Prescott for 5 games, and he still had over 900 yards. He actually had over 1,000 yards all purpose, right? Because, they were utilizing him in the kick return game. Everything. So there's not very few. There's very few that I would take over Ceedee Lamb. Very few wide receivers I would take over Ceedee Lamb. So, with a talent like that, you lock them up forever, man. You lock them up forever. And like my boy Tyrone Church said, Ceedee Lamb is still young. Ceedee Lamb is 23, 24 years old. Like, Ceedee Lamb is still going to develop. This is not even the final form of Ceedee Lamb. Like, his route running is going to get even better, right? His spatial awareness is going to get even better. His understanding of the game is going to get even better. You know what I mean? Like, Ceedee Lamb is spectacular. So I don't care the price, man. I don't care what it takes to sign Ceedee Lamb for a long-term deal. You get it done. You sign Ceedee Lamb for a long-term deal. You do what I said and cut Michael Gallup and save that $9.5 or $10 million, whatever it is. And hell, if one of those top wide receivers fall to you in the draft, you draft their ass too. So you can pair Ceedee Lamb up with another up-and-coming star for the next half a decade. And, you have no issues at your wide receiving room from here on forward. You get 5 years of cheap labor from a top-tier wide receiver. You get to keep Ceedee Lamb in the fold. And, it's very hard to stop a team with multiple receiving threats. My boy said Jefferson the only wide receiver I would take over Ceedee Lamb. After this season, that list might be even shorter. I know that Jefferson was hurt, but, availability is also an ability. So we'll see. Like, there's a very short list. This is a super short list. And if we're comparing, like, age and everything, the list gets shorter. The list gets shorter. Because right now, I think that Ceedee Lamb's a better wide receiver than Stephon Diggs. Right, I think he's a better wide receiver than Stephon Diggs. I know for a fact he's better than Puka Nacua. He had a better season than Cooper Kupp did, because Cooper Kupp's getting older in age and had his injury things going on. So it's a super short list. Super short list. And hell, if you want to use injury as being an ability, you can put him over Jamar Chase too, because Jamar Chase was dinged up this year and didn't have the same production. Said Tyreek is a ball dropper. Yeah, because right now Ceedee Lamb's Robin is the tight end, Jake Ferguson. Jake Ferguson is the number 2 player in terms of yards and targets on the Dallas Cowboys team, and that's not a knock, because Jake Ferguson is like that. He's a young star in the making at the tight end position. So I ain't mad at Jake Ferguson for taking advantage of his increased role. I'm not mad at him for taking advantage of the opportunities bestowed upon him, because he became a Pro Bowler this year, right? One of the best tight ends in the business right now. But I also believe in a passing league, like you need multiple weapons. Even if you don't want to throw the ball 40 times, you still need the option to throw the ball, right? Because I'm all for getting a running back, drafting a running back, signing a free agent running back, building a great run game. But I really need that more so in the postseason than I need in the regular season. Like, I can win a lot of games throwing the ball around the yard in the regular season. I'm going to play 9 games in a dome with these explosive-ass wide receivers I got and this all-pro quarterback. I can take advantage of that. I'm going to play a couple dome games when I play the Saints and when I play the Falcons and these other guys that I have to play. So I'm gonna play a lot of dome games in the regular season. I more so need the run game in the postseason. Right? I more so need to lean on my run game in the postseason, because a dominant run game and stopping the run are keys to winning playoff football. I might be able to get away with some of that shit in the regular season, but with the pressure and how tight it is in the postseason, I need a run game. But said, what's up? What's good, HTM and Cowboys Nation? Glad we blocked Commanders for interviewing Al Harris. Dan Quinn being real fuckboyish. Dan Queer, I mean. Man, I'm glad too, because there are a lot of questions at the cornerback position that still need to be answered. And whatever solution we come up with for them, I feel that Al Harris will be part of the solution, whether it be developing Eric Scott, whether it be working more closely with some of the other veterans we have to help elevate their game. I like Al Harris, though. I think he's been doing a good job, and I wouldn't be surprised if they elevated him to the passing game coordinator. I wouldn't be surprised if they gave him Joe Witt's old gig. I wouldn't be surprised by that at all. All right, so let's move along, man, because we were just in here talking about Ceedee Lamb's comments. So we talked about his comments about the playoff loss. We seen his comments about getting paid. Y'all want to hear what he had to say about his mama? You want to hear what he had to say about his mama and his quarterback? I think that's the next one I'm gonna play. So yeah, let me play you the clip from what he had to say about his mama. You don't think he will pull a Quinn on us? I don't believe so. Because listen, Al Harris can't mess up. Al Harris does not have the cachet of a Dan Quinn. Al Harris has only been a positional coach most of his time in the NFL. So Al Harris has to do well in his positions to continue to get opportunities and jobs. So I don't think that Al Harris would do us dirty, because I don't think Al Harris can afford it. I don't think Al Harris can afford that. All right, but let's go ahead and take a look at it, man. I'm finna play y'all the little clip. And it wasn't a long enough clip for me to make it into a full video, so I just made it into a short on my YouTube page. So here it go right here. Ceedee Lamb clears the air about his mom's comments. All right. So that was Ceedee Lamb had to. Hold on. It's playing again in the background, so let me pause it. Okay, so yeah, so that was Ceedee Lamb in regards to his mama's comments about one Rain Dakota Prescott. But remember, you don't remember the actual comments. She said that Dak Prescott ain't it. She said that Ceedee Lamb should take his ass to Houston to play with CJ Stroud. She said that Dak Prescott don't want to win. She said a bunch of crazy shit. But Ceedee Lamb, as he mentioned, she was just being a mom, dog. She was just being a mama. You know what I'm saying? Like, she was caught up in the moment. She was upset, just like all the rest of our fan base was upset about what happened, and she spoke from emotion. Ceedee Lamb said he does not talk to her about stuff like that. Allegedly, he said he ain't been throwing his quarterback under the bus at the meal table. Allegedly, he said that he loved his quarterback. He said they good for life, and they gonna get out here and make some more money. So I don't know. The question is, do y'all believe that? Because I will say this, like, it's not like Ceedee Lamb lives with his mama. They have dinner all the time. That he come home bitching and complaining about practice and bitching and complaining about this, that, and the third. I don't think that they out here sharing houses and just, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, a parent is going to ride with they children, right or wrong. You know what I mean? So, and y'all bear with me. I'll be right back. Y'all bear with me. I gotta flip this breaker. All right, we Gucci now. Sorry about that. Got way too much stuff running. All right, he said Dak wasn't on the yacht. He declined the invite. But yeah, man, so I'm not really sure that Dak Prescott and Ceedee Lamb, have any personal issues. You're gonna get into it with your peoples when you work with them day in and day out. Dirk Nowitzki and Jason Terry talked about how they argued all the goddamn time. They're just part of a relationship with your teammate, man. When you're trying to compete and trying to win, you're not gonna always be happy with each other. But I don't think there's anything like he hates Dak Prescott's guts. He don't think Dak Prescott is a good person or shit like that. I think but it was the heat of the moment. They were going at it about what they saw out there. They were just trying to compete and win. So I'll take his word. I'll take his word for it right now. He said, "What you checking on?" Oh man, nah, I ain't got no biscuits now. I did have to, flip the breaker, but outside of that, we Gucci. He said Dak did an interview about not going on the yacht. What yacht? What are we talking about? What yacht are we talking about? Yeah, she saw Jerry. They said Jerry's yacht. Okay. See, when was this? This a recent interview or this an interview from some years ago? Because I ain't seen Dak Prescott except for in that picture with Sean Lee and his wife. I ain't seen shit from Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott be escaping from the world in the off season. So I ain't seen or heard anything from Dak Prescott outside of that one singular picture that's floating around there. But yeah, man. But really what Ceedee Lamb explanation for was what most a couple years ago. Got you. Okay. No, I do remember that then. I thought it was a different situation, but I'm glad y'all clarified that for me. But yeah, man, what he said though really is what most of us with parents said. You know what I mean? Like, you can't stop your mama for saying crazy shit. You can't. You just can't. I be seeing my cousin Tina, how she be acting at her kids' baseball and basketball games, man. Like, oh Lord. It's just different, man, when you're rooting on your kids and trying to support your children, man. It's a different kind of energy. It's a different kind of energy. So I ain't tripping on that. I don't think Dak Prescott's tripping on it either. Because we also know that Dak Prescott mama was like that. Lord bless her soul. Yeah, Lord bless her soul. But Dak Prescott mama was like that as well. She was hellfire and brimstone to deal with when it came to Dak Prescott on that football field. You know, I don't see the Quincy's comments. I have to go all the way to the chat box to see if this is even worth responding to. Let me see. The Quincy don't. Hey, let me see, man. Don't make this a blank ass trip. Let me see if this is a comment that's worth saying. Reading. Yeah, no, I don't believe that. Hey, shout out to my boy Jay Recruiter for the $5 super chat. He said Cowboys were scarred by Zeke. They went opposite on valuing good running backs in the running game. The Dallas Cowboys, but this the thing though, man. The Dallas Cowboys should not have been scarred by Ezekiel Elliott. They should not have been scarred by Ezekiel Elliott. Because Ezekiel Elliott gave you multiple rushing titles. He gave you multiple Pro Bowl appearances, multiple All-Pro appearances, right? He gave you some good playoff performances early on. Ran you to one of your only playoff wins. I know that he didn't really show up in the Rams game. I know there was some other games that he didn't have great appearances in the postseason. But you got your value out of Ezekiel Elliott. You got your value out of Ezekiel Elliott. Because listen, if you paired a running back like Ezekiel Elliott with this version of Dak Prescott, you might not lose a game, bro. You might not lose a game. If you paired a running back of Ezekiel Elliott's caliber when he first came to the league with this version of Dak Prescott, you might not lose a damn game, bro. Because you barely lost games when Dak Prescott was a game manager with a running back like Ceedee Lamb in the mix, right? You barely lost games when Ezekiel Elliott played when Dak Prescott was a think and dunk quarterback and he was a game manager. Imagine if you give the All-Pro version of Dak Prescott a young Ezekiel Elliott, and you get those one-on-one coverages on the outside with a Ceedee Lamb and a Brandon Cooks, and they got to play single high safety, so the seam is open for Jake Ferguson. Man, come on now. Oh, you talking about the Quincy? Yeah, the Quincy be wildin', man. He said, Henny, this offseason, who would you rather take, Derrick Henry or Saquon Barkley? I would probably take If I had to choose between the two, that's hard, dog. It really is an either or for me, man. If you can't get me Derrick Henry, I would take Saquon Barkley. If I can't get Derrick Henry, I'll take Saquon Barkley. But if we're shooting for the stars and wishing and hoping and living by a prayer, I would prefer to get Josh Jacobs. I know that's probably outside of their pay grade, what they want to do, but I would take them. I would definitely take Josh Jacobs over everybody. But I would take either one of those boys. What's up with you, Mr. Richburg? Thank you for tapping in and showing love to the liquor store, my brother. I salute to you. If the money's all even, it's Josh Jacobs, and it's not close. If the money is even, Steven, and you can get whatever running back that you wanted, I would get Josh Jacobs because he's the complete package in the run game, in the screen game, catching passes at the backfield, run blocking. Josh Jacobs is a complete running back and a dominant running back. And he doesn't have the injury concerns of a Saquon Barkley, and he doesn't have the age concerns of a Derrick Henry. So if they wanted to go somebody like Josh Jacobs, that's the running back. I doubt that he leaves Las Vegas, but that's the running back. Now, I know for a fact that Derrick Henry and Saquon Barkley are expected to hit the open market. So, you know, those are the guys that you'll probably get between those two. But if we could get any running back, the running back that we all should want is Josh Jacobs because he's the closest to being an elite running back, an elite, complete 3-down running back because he can run block. He can catch out the backfield. He can run between the tackles. He does have the ability to hit his head on the goalpost on a home run run play. So yes, that would be the one. He said, "What do you think Ceedee Lamb's contract looks like?" All right, let me pull up the stats for you. Let me pull up the numbers. He said draft 1 too. Yeah, Frank Gore Jr. and shout out to West Coast Cowboy. He actually put me on Frank Gore Jr. before. He would talk to me about Frank Gore Jr. before he was the MVP of the what's the bowl called? The one that we held in Dallas, the Shrine Bowl. Before he was the MVP of the Shrine Bowl, he was putting me on that boy. Johnny Herrera, what's up, man? Said, what up, my good friend Henny from finally sunny Southern Cali. Hey, y'all finally ain't getting rained on out there, man. Y'all finally ain't getting rained on out there. Said we still need a draft one in the 3rd round. I wouldn't mind that. You got to do both. Yeah, you got to do both, man. You got to do both. Get CD on a 6-year, $30 million a year. CD about to make $30 million. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at the wide receiver market right now. So we're over the cap. We're gonna pull up the most expensive wide receivers. Yep, there's already somebody making $30 million. There's already a player making $30 million. So Ceedee Lamb got to make more than $30 million, or he got to make close to it. So let me go ahead and share the screen, right? Because your contract is usually reflected by the market. Let me go ahead and show y'all the market. All right, so this is the guys that make the most per year. Tyreek Hills make 30. Devontae Adams makes 28. Cooper Kupp makes 26.7. AJ Brown makes 25. DK Metcalf makes 24. Stephon Diggs makes 24. Debo makes 23.8. So Ceedee Lamb, if he wants to reset the market in average per year, would need to make $31 million or more. If he wants to reset the market in guaranteed money, he'll have to make over $75 million. If he wants to reset the market in total value, he'll have to make over $140 million. So Ceedee Lamb, if he want to reset the market and be the highest paid wide receiver, he'll have to make a little bit more. So yeah, 32. Tyrone, like 32, 31, 32, 33 is probably going to be Ceedee Lamb's per year contract. And it lines up with the current market for wide receivers. It lines up correctly. So if he wants to reset the market in money per year, it'll have to be over 30. So about 32, 33. If he wants to reset the market for a total value of a contract, it have to be over 140. So like 145, 150, 160, something like that, right? Fully guaranteed money. AJ Brown got the most fully guaranteed with 56.4. So you want to give Ceedee Lamb the most fully guaranteed money, give him about 60 and he'll be happy, right? So all you got to do is see what everybody else is making and slightly go up on the numbers. And that's usually how these contracts work. If they went big, you got to go a little bigger, and that's how you keep it up there. He said, Lord, why I couldn't hit the genetic lottery? Hey, man, I feel the same way sometimes, bro. I feel the same way. But, hey, that's some good-ass money. It's some good-ass money. Really, I wish that I wish I was good in baseball or some shit like that. Those contracts be ridiculous. Yeah, Dak gonna make about 60. Micah gonna make about 40. But remember, the average per year doesn't really matter. Only thing that actually matters is the cap hits. We just seen Dak Prescott go 3 years without making $40 million in a singular season. Right? We just seen Dak Prescott go 3 years without making $40 million in a singular season, despite the fact that he's supposed to be a $40 million a year quarterback. So the cap hits all that matter. So Ceedee Lamb, in theory, can make $32, $33 million a year, and his cap hit still be like 15. It might be 20 this year, it might be 22 this year. But you know, like there are ways to mitigate cap hits and make it palatable, you know, for them to digest. Right? They can eat that. They can make that work. And it's worth it when you're talking about keeping all pro players together. Right? You can't have it both ways. You can't want good players on your team and not want to pay for good players. So at this point, Micah Parsons, Dak Prescott, Ceedee Lamb, Trayvon Diggs, DeRon Bland, those guys have shown that they are worth their contracts, right? They've all shown that they are worth the money that they're going to ask for and make. Yeah, you know, Parsons does play on the team, right? He does play on the team, so he is culpable in the losses and the wins, DeQuincy. It's not like Micah Parsons plays on a different team. So you know that he also feel like his defense played against winning teams because his defense gave up damn near 30 points a game. I love how you try and flip everything about Dak Prescott, though, because I forgot you are a Madden player. You feel that the quarterback is the end-all, be-all, and it's just not the case, my boy. But I appreciate you for your comments and your engagements. You are my boy. I just disagree with you about 50,000% of the time, but you're still my boy. Dak going to sign another 6-year deal, probably 5. It'll probably be like a 4 or 5 year deal, because I think that Dak Prescott wants the option of maybe playing somewhere else at the end of the contract if need be. If need be, you know what I'm saying? So they get a contract done, I think it'll be like a 4-year extension. Because by the time he's 35, if he hasn't won here, I think he'll try and go and win somewhere else before his career is over. So I think you got another 4 or 5 years of Dak Prescott. If you count this final year of the contract and the extension, I think that Dak Prescott will be on the team for another 5 seasons, 2024 plus a 4-year extension. In my humble opinion, I don't think that he wants to sign a 6-year deal, a 6-7 year deal. I think he wants to. I think if the option comes to him and he feels like Dallas not getting it done, then you know. Okay, Bigelow said a 3-year deal, and that's still on brand for somebody that wants to try and compete somewhere else if it don't work out here. So if he signs a 3 or a 4-year deal, he'll still be young enough to be wanted somewhere else when he leaves. Because you got to think about it. They still giving contracts to Aaron Rodgers. They're still giving contracts to Andy Dalton. They're still giving contracts to Joe Flacco. You know what I mean? They're going to give Kirk Cousins a nice little contract. So quarterbacks play a long-ass time. So Dak Prescott theoretically could leave here at the age of 35 and still have another half a decade, 6-7 years to play in the NFL. And if he's still putting up numbers, then you know. Nobody signs team-friendly deals. Nobody is asking Ceedee Lamb to sign a team-friendly deal. Nobody's going to ask Micah Parsons to sign a team-friendly deal. Nobody's going to ask Deron Bland when he gets his paper to sign a team-friendly deal. My only job is to get the bag. It's Stephen Jones and Jerry Dem job to figure it out financially. You know what I mean? And I'm not going to give a discount to the cheapest front office in the National Football League. I'm just not going to give them a discount. They're not going to use the money. Jerry Jones and them going to buy a yacht. They ain't finna go get Dak Prescott no damn weapons. They're not. When Dak Prescott was making under $1 million, they did not go out there and put weapons around him. Dak Prescott was made like $700K one year, and they still went out there, took away Dez Bryant, had that man thrown to Deontay Thomas and them boys, man. You don't give no discount to a front office that has shown you time in and time out that they don't want to put together a super team. They ain't trying to do that shit. They're cheap. So I'm not going to help them be cheap. If you ain't going to pay for weapons, you might as well pay me because you're not going to use the money. If Dak Prescott played for if he played for Bill Belichick in the New England Patriots, if he played for the Rams, a team that has shown that they're willing to go in and get weapon and get talent, he might have took a discount on this second deal. But he has no reason to believe that the front office will put teams around him. He's seen it with his own eyes. I mean, DeQuincy, we've talked about having a cultural issue. We talked about having a cheap front office. We already talked about that. What we have to do is hope that they can put teams together. We got to hope that they hit on the draft. We got to hope that they hit on their free agent picks. And remember, you actually save money giving Dak Prescott an extension. You save money giving him an extension. So it doesn't really matter if he takes a discount. You save money giving him a contract either way. Point is, as long as you get a contract done with Dak Prescott, you'll still have room to put players around him. But I'm not going to take a discount or a haircut in order to do that. I can still make my $60 million and you can still put a team around me. Because that's how the salary cap works. They always hit on a draft. There'll be a rare occurrence and they don't hit on a draft. Like this season draft, the only one I was looking forward to was Overshown. Yeah, and Overshown went down with an injury, so we really didn't get an opportunity to see him. Yeah, man, I be telling y'all, man, we had imaginary friends growing up that were that's realer than the salary cap, bro. We've had imaginary friends when we were growing up as kids that were realer than the salary cap. Because you can do whatever. You can do whatever with that damn salary cap, bro. So let's continue though, man, because we talked about Ceedee Lamb clearing up the stuff with his mama. We talked about Ceedee Lamb talking about his contract with Micah Parsons, and we also got Ceedee Lamb's opinion about what was the downfall of the Dallas Cowboys in that playoff game. Now we can discuss Gilly and Brandon Cooks and what they had to say about Demarcus Lawrence comments. It's not a very long clip at all. I'm gonna play it for y'all good folks. Hold on. But he don't agree with that. And this is what I be saying when I say there's a different culture outside of Dallas than there is in Dallas. There's a different culture. So let's play the video. I was trying to send this to landlord, by the way. I had screen recorded this shit when I ran into it. So it's about a 35-second, 40-second little clip. We're going to pause this and we're going to play this shit for y'all good folks, man. You don't actually see Brandon Cooks in the video. Brandon Cooks is sitting right beside him. They were interviewing. And this is them talking about what Demarcus Lawrence said about being tired or being exhausted, right? Whatever form of words you wanted to use. whatever words you wanted to use. But here it goes. All right, here it goes.
Comments yesterday. One of the things that he said was he felt maybe you guys were a little tired, a little fatigued going into that Packers game. Right?
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm glad you said
that. Everybody tired in the playoffs.
When the playoffs going, man,
whatever it takes. You know, you got San Francisco tired right now, and Kansas City.
It's a long year, but it's a lot sweeter when you're hosting that.
Right?
Exactly.
I don't know what that was about.
You guys have gone through the Super Bowl experience as players, though. How is that leading up to the game? I mean, what's the
Gavin alluded.
So yeah, man, that was, that was them and their thoughts about what Demarcus Lawrence had to say about being fatigued or being exhausted or being tired. They don't agree. They don't agree at all. We got one defensive player saying it. We got one offensive player saying it. So, Brand, you can hear Brandon Cooks at the end of the video say, I don't know. He said, I don't know what that's about. Yeah, Brandon Cooks don't agree with that shit. He don't agree with that shit at all. Neither does Stephon Gilmore. But like I said, man, there's a difference in culture. There was a difference in culture in Dallas than there is everywhere else. Hey, he had to be talking about himself, man, but I want y'all to remember, he said we was tired. Brandon Cooks and Stephon Gilmore said there ain't no we. He said that nigga is speaking French. That man is speaking French. There ain't no we. He said everybody tired in the postseason. San Fran tired. KC tired. Everybody tired. It's a long season. Everybody tired, but that cannot be the reason that you win or lose games. Shout out to my brother, Mr. Burns, for the $5 super chat. He said, get the deal done and build a super team around Dak. I agree, because you got to remember, man, you can – I'm gonna come back to that comment, man. I'm going to keep the comment up there. Because it's going to remind me to pull up some of the cap information about how much cap money we can save. But before I get to that, I'm going to just keep discussing the what was said about Tank Lawrence and all the other stuff. And like I said, D-Law just probably needs better PR. He probably needs better media training. He probably needs better PR. Because Brandon Cooks and Stephon Gilmore did not agree with that. But they are also people that got coached under Bill Belichick, right? Brandon Cooks was coached under Sean McVay. He was coached under Sean Payton. He was coached in a winning atmosphere, right? So he has a different outlook on that. Like, everybody's tired, bro. Everybody's hurt, bro. Everybody, that made it to this point has something wrong, or they are exhausted, or they have a flaw on why they can't do something, right? Everybody has a flaw. Everybody's tired. Everybody has a nick. Said 2024 a bust for Cowboys with salary cap issues. You don't know about the salary cap, my boy. You don't actually know what you're talking about. Matter of fact, I'm glad you're in here. Stay right there, Stan fans. So let me show you what I mean about the salary cap being fugazi as a motherfucker. Because the Dallas Cowboys have the ability to clear a lot of salary cap space. They have the ability to clear a lot of salary cap space. So let me remind you, if you give Dak Prescott an extension, the Dallas Cowboys will save $26.2 million against the salary cap. If you were to actually give Ceedee Lamb his extension that he just talked about, you will save another $13 million against the salary cap. By restructuring Zach Martin, the Dallas Cowboys save $12.5 million against the salary cap. Right? By cutting Michael Gallup as a post-June the 1st cap casualty, you will save $10 million. If you are to restructure Demarcus Lawrence, you also save a little bit of money. So the Dallas Cowboys have multiple moves that they can make to clear over $65 million in cap space. Dallas Cowboys can clear over $65 million in cap space with only a handful of moves. And that's not even me factoring in the fact that they can restructure Terrence Steele, right? There are a bunch of things the Dallas Cowboys can do to clear cap space. Because remember, folks, the salary cap is not real. The question is, do teams want to continue to kick the can down the road, or do they want to pay the piper now? But you can always say, fuck the cap, I'll worry about that shit tomorrow. That's pretty much what you do with the salary cap. You create money out of nowhere. You push money back to dummy years. You restructure contracts. You cut some players that haven't been producing. Right? You do. There's plenty of things the Dallas Cowboys can do to save salary cap. Plenty of things. Matter of fact, if you want to be educated on that even further, you can go check out some of my videos about the salary cap on moves the Dallas Cowboys can make to clear cap space. But no, the Dallas Cowboys are not in cap hill. They'll be in the green after they restructure Dak Prescott or they extend Dak Prescott. One move and the Dallas Cowboys got salary cap. Ain't that shit crazy, right? So no, I'm sorry, my boy. You know, rumors of our imminent demise were greatly exaggerated. The Dallas Cowboys will be able to put a team together. We'll be able to compete. We'll be able to beat the Houston Texans when y'all bring y'all goofy asses to Texas. When y'all bring y'all goofy asses to Dallas, we will be able to put a team together to spank your ass. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about that at all, my boy. Yeah, you thought you gonna get an easy L coming to Dallas, huh? Nope, you finna get smoked. But anyway, I am glad that you brought that up because we were in the process of talking about cap space anyway. Yeah, hey, y'all, make sure y'all hit that like and share button for your boy, man. Make sure y'all hit that like and share button for your boy, man. We in here. Hey, you know y'all on the schedule next year, H-Town, Texas 713. Now, see, the smoke came from your boy. There was a dude came in here talking about the Dallas Cowboys are going to be in cap hell, have a down season next year. Nope. Not at all, my boy. Not at all. We got guns in the back. We got choppers. We still got them sticks on deck. We want to go to war, we can go to war. But the Dallas Cowboys can create cap space. We can get players. We can extend our guys. Like all that cap trouble shit. Don't listen to the media. I'm sitting here right now breaking down the numbers for you. Person per person, contract maneuver by contract maneuver. So don't even listen to them boys on ESPN. Don't listen to them boys on ESPN. The Dallas Cowboys got money. Hey, my boy said they got vests. I'm okay then, man. Hey, I love that, man. I love that. But hey, congratulations to CJ Stroud. Congratulations to Willie Anderson. Both well-deserving of their Rookie of the Year awards. Especially would take Willie Anderson over Jalen Carter right now. You can make an argument for Puka Nacua over CJ Stroud, but the quarterback position has always been a harder position to play. So congrats to them. And apologies about D'Amico Ryans. He probably deserved being Coach of the Year over Kevin Stefanski. So salute to y'all, though. Y'all putting together some good shit over there, and y'all have already outperformed expectations. So salute. But we're going to show y'all who the big dogs in Texas is when y'all come to AT&T Stadium next year. Hoping for a good game, though, my boy. Danny Savage, my brother. What's up with you, man? Man, you ain't lying. ESPN got clickbait and hate. All in their blood, bro. Listen, man. It's all good. The Quincy is the resident detractor. The Quincy is the resident detractor. So you need people like the Quincy in the chat box so everybody's not on one accord. You need one person saying fuck all that. And that's fine. That's just the Quincy role in the chat box. Y'all can let him make it. Y'all can let him make it. I ain't tripping on that. So yeah, man, but what are y'all thoughts, man? What are y'all thoughts about Brandon Cooks and Stephon Gilmore not co-signing what Demarcus Lawrence was talking about? But, you know, we had a very good debate about it, right? Because of the character of Demarcus Lawrence. It's not like, listen, nobody has ever thought of Demarcus Lawrence as a as a guy that does not give out full effort. Nobody ever thought about Demarcus Lawrence as a guy, who doesn't give it his all, who isn't a leader, who isn't a force in the run game, who doesn't get pressures. Like Demarcus Lawrence has been a staple for this Dallas Cowboys defense for years, right? Since he came into the league in 2014. Been a constant force in this defense. And, I've been willing to give him the benefit of the doubt for him saying that, having a meaning behind it, right? I was hoping that it had a meaning behind it and him trying to say, hey, we weren't conditioned enough for this. Hey, we need help to stop the run so we don't be tired, right? I was hoping that there was a veiled message in there somewhere. And it still might be. It still might be a veiled message in there that Brandon Cooks and Stephon Gilmore aren't getting. But, when you see these two contemporaries of him, completely and wholeheartedly disagree with his stance on it, it's sort of disheartening. It was sort of disheartening. I mean, I get it. Like, Demarcus Lawrence has every right to be tired. Demarcus Lawrence has every right to be, down because you can't stop the run. Because he's he's on the front lines, right? It's his job to get that and do that and be able to win up front in the trenches for us, right? Because you got to think about it. I'm also put it like this: Brandon Cooks don't have to worry about that shit. Gilly, you're running around chasing wide receivers. So that still partially plays into what Wes was saying. That still partially plays into what Wes is saying. Because, Brandon Cooks doesn't feel the same way as Demarcus Lawrence. And Stephon Gilmore don't feel the same way as Demarcus Lawrence. But they're also doing two different gigs. You know what I'm saying? They're also doing two different jobs. The job that Demarcus Lawrence is doing is a lot. Is a lot, trying to stop the pass and stop the run and not really having any help doing so. So I can understand why there's a disconnect in the way that they see things. I can also see why there's a disconnect. Because I'm not gonna try to pile on to Demarcus Lawrence, because I still feel like there's a reason why he said it. Even if they don't agree with it, there still might be a reason why he said it. Because there's still truth to it. And we also know as a fan base, the Dallas Cowboys need more to stop the run. We need to get a defensive tackle and not ask them to drink Slim Fast, right? Just keep a big, fat, nasty-ass defensive tackle on your team. You need real linebackers and not 200-pound safeties. You need, you need all that stuff to be successful. So I get what D-Law, I get that aspect what D-Law is saying. So I don't know, man. I'm gonna leave that one open to interpretation. Because listen, I try to look at it from more than one angle. I try to have an open mind about things like this. I don't ever want to just be on this side of shit and on this side of shit. I try and look at it from everybody's, I try to look at it from everybody's perspective. Because I looked at it from Brandon Cooks and Stephon Gilmore's perspective. Because that shit would not fly in New England, right? That shit wouldn't fly in New Orleans. That shit wouldn't fly with Sean McVay, right? Because they played with some hard-nosed coaches. They played with coaches with championship pedigrees. So I understand their viewpoint on it. Like, even if you're tired, because everybody's tired, that's true. But that shouldn't be an excuse for it. At the same time, Demarcus Lawrence being here in Dallas from that culture, he also might be trying to be vocal about, hey, man, like, we weren't able to win because of this. So I'm speaking on it. So I'm just trying to be even keeled with how I look at it. Now, I still don't agree with Demarcus Lawrence. I don't agree that you should have said it. Even if it's true, I don't believe that you should have said it. But at the same time, I'm trying to find rationality in why it was said. Just like I found rationality in why Brandon Cooks and Stephon Gilmore would be opposed to that. So it's all about having open-ended conversations. You know what I mean? It's all about looking at everything from everybody's standpoint and perspective. So we will just know come week 18, he'll be tired and therefore can't help his team. stop the opposing offense. Got it. That's not really what I'm saying, Ty. What I'm saying is Demarcus Lawrence can't be the only nigga on the team stopping the run. He can't be the only dude on the team stopping the run. You can't go out there with no defensive tackles or no linebackers and expect for your defensive line to hold up. Now, I'm not trying to take up for Demarcus Lawrence. We all agree. Can we all agree that he probably shouldn't have said it? Even if he believes that in his mind and in his heart, it should have probably stayed there. But at the same time, we all can agree that we needed more to stop the run. Like, we all probably can agree that we needed more to stop the run. Because D-Law by himself can't do it. We know that Micah Parsons on the edge cannot really affect the run game like that. We know that I done said the boy name wrong. We know that Marquise Bell cannot stop the run. We know that Damone Clark be everywhere wrong. Right? I mean, am I lying though? Y'all say really, Henny, because y'all ain't trying to hear it. But it's true. We all know that one of the reasons we lost that game was because we could not stop the run. Waived all your damn linebackers. And again, because y'all keep disregarding the fact that I said I still don't agree with Demarcus Lawrence. Right? But I can also disagree with Demarcus Lawrence and try to find why he said what he said. Right? It's really that simple. You don't have to agree with something to try and understand the rationality behind why it was said. I could say, fuck Demarcus Lawrence, I don't want to hear that shit. That's the easiest thing to do. But when you're trying to understand what's going on, why he said it, and if there's any truth to it, you have to analyze things like that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm more so in agreement with Stephon Gilmore and Brandon Cooks. Everybody tired. Everybody at this point in the season is wore down or dealing with an injury, right? I'm more in agreement to what they said, but I'm also willing to decipher some of the things that Demarcus Lawrence said from his standpoint of why he said it, and if there's any truth to it. You know what I mean? That's all. I mean, I don't think anybody agreed with D-Law. I mean, I don't think there's anybody that really agreed with what D-Law said. If you looked at the first show, I disagreed with it. Landlord disagreed with it. Brandon Cooks disagreed with it. Stephon Gilmore disagreed with it. So we all disagree with the tire thing, but we also have to understand why somebody of his ilk, who's been a maximum effort player since he came to the league, would say something like that, right? I mean, T. Foster, you're on deaf ears with me because I didn't say I agreed with him. And that's the part that y'all keep skipping over. I didn't say I agreed with D-Law. So I don't know what you're talking about. Said you can have media fatigue. People talk shit about them when they lose, but when they win, they make excuses and say they should beat the Panthers, Commanders, etc., which is also true. Said when I initially heard D-Law say that, I was like, cut him immediately, but I calmed down and tried to understand why he said it. Yeah. Like, I'm just trying to figure out why he said what he said. I'm not saying he's right. Like, I already told y'all like 30 different times in 30 different ways I disagree with the nigga. I'm just saying, like, with somebody that has never had a motor issue before, talks about being tired, I want to know what's behind that. Because we do not want to be here in the 2024 postseason having the same conversation about players being tired or fatigued or whatever the hell is going on. So I want to figure out why you feel this way so we can remedy that. Because I'm all about solutions. If you feel if they feel that's a problem, or at least if he feels like that's a problem, let's figure out how to change that. But again, I more so agree with Stephon Gilmore and Brandon Cooks on the matter. There's no excuse for talking about being tired or why you lost. But I also want to know why you feel Not only that it was a good thing to say, but also a good thing. Yes, I'm trying to rationalize what he said because people don't just say shit for no reason, in my opinion. He said it's not as bad, but similar to For What comments by Ricky Waters. They come back to hunt you. I agree with that. So let's see. It's a business. That's why they laugh and trade jersey after the game. It's all friends football. For some people. Todd Cowboy said he and I agree. Let's change it. We need players that when they tired, they will dig down and find a way to win. And that's all I'm saying, man. Like if you feel that way, then what's causing you to be like that, man? Is it the fact that you got undersized linebackers and no defensive tackles? Is it something that you could have worked on in the offseason with your conditioning? Like, why are you feeling that you can't go out there and compete? Right? What is wrong with this mindset? Why is this mindset in your head like that? Because I don't need that permeating through the rest of the locker room. Now I know that Gilmore and Stefan, I know that still Gilmore and Cooks don't believe that. But they from a different organization. They were brought up different, right? What if all of the drafted players feel the same way as Demarcus Lawrence do? That they were too tired to overcome it. That we need to change some of the shit that we do structurally, and some of the things that we do as a culture, right? In that locker room and how they conduct their training and their mental fortitude, so we could be better prepared. So we need to change some shit. Because why do you feel like why you feel so comfortable telling me this, D-Law? That's what I'm trying to get down to. Because I don't need for this to be a reoccurring thing. Because listen, this comment got us divided not only as a fan base, but in a locker room. Because there's players from outside the organization that don't agree with none of that. So I need to know what the hell is going on. We need to fix that. For real. He said, bro, Osa was tied on the first drive let me read this one. Osa was tied on first drive and asked the left field on first drive. Osa good, but he wears down bad 3 years in a row at the end of the season. Demetrius said maybe 10-7 next year. Nah. Dallas Cowboys schedule is fine because you still gonna probably win 12-13 games next year. I'm gonna tell you why. You get 9 of your 17 games at the house. So you get 9 home games. Right? You get 9 home games. You play the Atlanta Falcons, who are still rebuilding. You play the Panthers, who are still rebuilding. You still get 2 games against the Giants. You get 2 games against the Commanders. You get 2 games against the Eagles. He said, I got the solution, but I got to tell you that off air. Don't do that, default. we need to know. We need to know, bro. We need to know. We got to have that information. We got to have that information, my guy. But yeah, man, but you got to think about it. Dallas Cowboys' upcoming schedule is not as hard as you think. Right? Because you're going to play the Panthers still. You're going to play the Falcons. You're going to play the Bucks. You're going to play the Saints. You're going to play the Giants twice and the Commanders twice and the Eagles twice. And you're damn near guaranteed to beat the Eagles because the Eagles haven't won at AT&T Stadium in about half a decade at this point. Really more than that. They last won in 2017. It's going to be 2024. So they haven't won in Dallas in a very long time. So the Dallas Cowboys the Dallas Cowboys are still probably going to win about 12, 13 games, given the opponents, given where they're going to play. You know what I'm saying? And the schedule might fall favorably for them. So yeah, I think the Dallas Cowboys will be just fine in terms of that. Like the schedule will be fine. I think the Dallas Cowboys still win about 12 games next year, even with a so-called first place schedule. Even with a so-called first place schedule, I still see the Dallas Cowboys winning double-digit games next year. Yeah, H-Town said at his best, we still probably should sweep our division. DC for Life, Texas, my brother. He said there was a lot of flu bug going on, but you're not supposed to say you're tired. No excuses. Every player tired. And we gonna have to hear boys haven't won against teams with winning record. LOL. And that's the crazy thing. They be shifting the narrative. Dallas Cowboys split when they play teams with winning records. We split. We played 8 teams. We played 8 games against teams with winning records. We lost 4. We won 4. You beat the Lions. You beat the Seahawks. You beat the Eagles. Right? You beat what the other team with a winning record? You beat the Rams, who were a playoff team. Those were 4 quality wins against teams with winning records. 4 quality wins against teams with winning records. But they only talk about the loss to San Fran. They only talk about the loss to the Eagles and not the win. They only talk about the loss against Buffalo and the loss against Miami. They only talk about those. They don't actually give us credit for beating those other teams with winning records. They don't actually give us credit for that, which is crazy. My boy said we need a left tackle, a center, and 2 running backs, 2 defensive tackles, 2 edges, 2 thumper middle linebackers in the middle. Okay, I'm all for a new running back room. Said only thing is nobody has won NFC East in back-to-back season in years. I think the last time was like the 2003, 2004 seasons. The Eagles won back-to-back back then, so it's been over 20 years. It's been like 2 decades. So the Dallas Cowboys should, in theory, be lined up to do that, because the Eagles got a bunch of things they got to improve on. The Eagles gonna have to replace their secondary. They got to refill their linebacker room. They got to find a different running back, because they're not going to probably pay DeAndre Swift. DeAndre Swift don't really want to come back there either, right? Because he talked about, DeAndre Swift went on Micah Parsons podcast and he said there were too many running backs in the backfield. But he was actually referring to Jalen Hurts, and that shit tickled the shit out of me. You got to think about it, man. DeAndre Swift, if he had actually got those carries on the 1-yard line, he would have had an all-pro season. DeAndre Swift would have had an all-pro season if he wasn't playing with Jalen Hurts. They just had to give Jalen Hurts those little tush-push touchdowns instead of handing the ball off to DeAndre Swift, bro. DeAndre Swift would have 15, 16, 17 rushing touchdowns to go along with having over 1,000 yards. He said, Hen, as a Cowboy fan, we ain't got nothing to fight with. In regards to what, brother? And when talking to other fan bases or talking about the media, the front office or the players, what battle are we speaking on? Because there's a bunch of battles out there, T. I need you to elaborate for me, my brother. Yeah, DeAndre Swift don't want to go back to Philly. He was very open about not really wanting to go back to Philly, wanting to have opportunities to actually be an all-pro running back, because he ain't gonna do that in Philly. They're gonna give those little touchdowns to Jalen Hurts. You know, they're gonna let somebody funnel that man ass and put something to the end zone. So he don't want to be around it. He don't want to be around it. He want his own touchdowns. He want his own all pros. All of it. Okay. Now listen. There's plenty that we can say as a fan base, because the guys that tried to talk crazy about us, there's like 24 teams that have longer championship droughts than the Dallas Cowboys, right? Even if the 49ers are probably going to lose, and they're still going to have a longer championship drought than the Dallas Cowboys. Like, nobody really respects going and losing. Nobody really respects going to the Super Bowl and losing the Super Bowl, except for people with losing mentalities. So, the Eagles, they celebrate losing championship games and losing Super Bowls. They got one in 60 years of existence, right? Nobody really cares about going and losing. Carolina Panthers never won one. So there's plenty of teams that have been worse than the Dallas Cowboys. We just let the media set the parameters for us, and we fall for the shit. Nobody cares about appearances. Nobody gives a damn that the Vikings had an NFC Championship appearance. They lost. They still ain't got no damn Super Bowls. Nobody cares about the Falcons almost winning a Super Bowl. They choked away a 25-point lead and lost. Nobody gives a shit that they had a NFC Championship appearance. Like all these teams with worse luck than the Dallas Cowboys. Yes, because I'm not finna sit here and kiss nobody ass about no damn championship appearances. Even if you look at the teams that won Super Bowls, Tom Brady got 3 championships since Dak Prescott's been in here. The boy Patrick Mahomes got 2. Who are all these quarterbacks winning championships? Who are all these teams winning championships? Like, it's not reality. The Dallas Cowboys have sucked, yes, but we're not going to sit here and act like everybody and their mama outside having fun and we in the house. There's a lot of teams that are in worse straits than the Dallas Cowboys, bro. Because I don't count that Dave and Buster, Mickey Mouse championship appearances and shit. I don't. I'm old enough to have seen all 3 of our Super Bowls, man. Like, I don't. That's the standard. The standard for the Dallas Cowboys is Super Bowls, and the standard for everybody else is championship appearances and shit. It's just a standard. If you ain't won no championship, I don't care if you win and lost. If you ain't won no championship, I don't care that you went to a championship game or a Super Bowl and lost. You know what I mean? I don't care about none of that shit. That might be me personally. I just don't care about that. I mean, T. Foster, I just don't agree with that mindset or that other bullshit. Either you won a title or you didn't. Right? Either you won a title or you didn't. And if every season that ends without winning a championship is a failure, then the Eagles have failed more times than the Dallas Cowboys. They won 1 title since they existed. Right? The 49ers have a longer championship drought than the Dallas Cowboys. I don't care that you win and lost. Now, if they win tomorrow, this is a different conversation. I'll shut the fuck up about the 49ers. If they lose, I ain't finna celebrate. If they lose, I ain't celebrating them going to no damn championship and losing and getting embarrassed in front of their fan base and their fan base having a broken heart. I ain't finna, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't abide by that shit. I don't abide by that shit, man. I really don't. I've never been the person that cared about participation trophies. Micah Parsons is, he's a good player. I ain't gonna say anything crazy about Micah Parsons. But, I sure can't see his effect on the game sometimes, though. I'm just saying. What's up with you, James Jones? I see you. T-Smooth TV, what's up with you? Thank y'all for tapping in and rocking out. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure y'all hit that share button. Now, James, are you a Commanders fan? I said nobody remembers the team that lost the Super Bowl. That's my point. I mean, T. Foster, you were just talking about the Dallas Cowboys fans don't have anything to fight with. When I asked you what you were trying to fight against, you talk about the organization, opposing fans, media, all the other stuff. So I gave you the truth. I fight them with the fact, like, dog, y'all are choosing some bullshit. Y'all choosing participation trophies to fight the Dallas Cowboys with. I just don't acknowledge that bullshit. What, sweep around your own front door? You were talking. Hey, listen. The reason I went into that tangent about these other teams not doing shit was because you said we did not have anything to fight with as a fan base. Right? That's why I spoke on it. So, I mean, you giving me mixed signals, my boy. You said you wanted to go to war, you needed ammunition. I gave you ammunition. because it's the truth too. And yes, y'all need a quarterback. Y'all need a quarterback. Regardless of what you think about Dak Prescott or Jalen Hurts, James Jones, you know, I'm just going to talk to you football-wise. Jalen Hurts' ceiling was being a second-team All-Pro. Dak Prescott's ceiling so far has been being a second-team All-Pro. You cannot compete in this division, you know, with quarterbacks, that are consistently in MVP talks or consistently in All-Pro talks. Like, it's hard to have a game manager kind of quarterback and win a division, you know, against guys like that. So you are right. You definitely need a good quarterback. You need a quarterback that can at least match that. You need a quarterback that can be in that kind of air. So you do need the quarterback, because I do believe y'all got weapons. I like Jahan. I like Scary Terry. You know, I even like your tight end a little bit. I like your running backs. Offensive line needs work, and you need to add some more pieces to the defensive line now. But you got some pieces on your team. But you need the quarterback to make it all come together. Right? Because your quarterback can get you to the playoffs. And then you can rely on your run game, the play action game, and your defense to help you win playoff games. And that really is the model. You can let your quarterback and your wide receivers get you to the playoffs, but you're going to need a little bit more for your run game and a little bit more for your defense when you get there. So yeah, if you get the quarterback, you can get to the postseason. It's just when you get to the postseason, it can't all be on him. He already got you there. At that point, you need more support from the supporting cast to get over the hump. So yes, you need the quarterback, because you already got the running game. And you eventually, with Dan Quinn over there, I do believe that you'll get the defense. It said, "Thank you. I love to keep it a buck. We have to fix that D-line and defense." And I think y'all got some pieces still. I'm not low on Jamin Davis. I like Curl, the safety that y'all got. And y'all got to remember, I loved Emmanuel Forbes coming out of college. You know, I think that Emmanuel Forbes just needs some coaching, because the skill set is there. Like, the skill set is there. You don't set the NCAA record in getting interceptions, and it doesn't really translate. He got natural skill. I just think he needs more training and more fundamentals. Right? So y'all got pieces. So another thing, that's why I hope that y'all don't hit on the quarterback. It's easier to win a division when it's a two-team race. Like, I can live with the Eagles and the Dallas Cowboys being the only competition in the NFC East. So I hope y'all don't hit on a quarterback, because I think y'all be fine with Caleb Williams, and I also think y'all be fine with the boy from LSU. But those are really the two quarterbacks that I like. I'm not very high on Drake May as everybody else is. I also don't think, for a guy like Michael Penix, I think that Michael Penix need to go somewhere that's already established, because he's already an older quarterback. He's not going to have a long career if he don't hit the ground running. You know what I mean? He's like 25 already. So by the time his rookie deal is up, he'll be a 30-year-old man. Hey, that's fine. If the Eagles fall off, y'all could be the second team in the running for the division. But it's always easier to win a division when it's a two-man race. So yeah, go ahead and knock the Eagles off. If y'all knock the Eagles off, y'all can take y'all can make it a new two-man show. I ain't tripping on that. He said we need to stop the run. We switching defenses. We need to rebuild O-line, new running back room, safety, 2 linebacker. We have lots of needs, lots of free agents, 16 exactly, and we over the cap, and only 1, 2, 3, a 6, a 6, a 7, and a 7. Well, that harkens back to what I was talking about getting the contracts done. Damn near $27 million in saving by extending Dak. $13 million in saving by extending Ceedee. You can restructure Zach Martin for another 12. You can cut Michael Gallup for another 10. You can restructure Terrence Steele for like $5 million. Right? There's plenty you can do to get cap space. But I also will keep harping on this, man. If the Dallas Cowboys do not fix their problems in free agency, then you won't fix them at all. Because there's a time and place where you cannot send a boy to do a man's job. Stopping the run is a man's job. You need a grown-ass veteran middle linebacker to stop the run. You need a grown-ass veteran defensive tackle to stop the run. You need a veteran running back to plug and play here to help you fix your running back room, and that way you don't have to put the weight of the world on a rookie running back. That's exactly what the Detroit Lions did. They paired Montgomery up with Gibbs, and they had a great tandem because they didn't ask the older guy to do everything. They didn't ask the young guy to do everything. They complemented each other quite well in their run game, right? So that's the thing. You need a good mix of veteran players and young guys in order to get the job done. You can't just ask these kids that's still wet behind the ears to come in here and fix your team. It is just not reasonable at all, in my opinion. It's just not reasonable. But yeah, man, we've been on this mug for almost 2 hours. So I appreciate y'all for everything. Showing love, rocking out with us. So thank y'all for coming in here. I think we had a pretty damn good show, man. We talked about everything in regards to Ceedee Lamb and his feelings about what's going on in the nation. You know, we talked about some of the comments made by Stephon Gilmore and Brandon Cooks about how they disagreed with Demarcus Lawrence. You know, we talked about some of the things that we need to do. So I think we had ourselves a productive talk over here in the liquor store, man. I think we got plenty drunk off the content, man. So I appreciate y'all for everything. I'll probably be going live again soon, man, because I gotta check to see if landlord's still trying to do the Cowboys College. I know that his shift changed, and he had to go out there and change his. He just got off of work this morning. So I'll see if he got the energy to do the show. I'll see if he got the energy to do the show. So keep your notifications on. We might be spinning back pretty soon, but if not, if we don't do Cowboys College, I'll still probably be live a little bit later on today. So thank y'all for the love. Thank y'all for the support. Thank y'all for rocking out with your boy. Hit that like button on the way out. Hit that share button on the way out. Hit that Cash App and Super Chat on the way out. So thank y'all for the love. Thank y'all for the support. And I'm going to holler at y'all, man. Peace. God bless.